back again, doing this again? What?
I mean, it feels correct at this point.
It does feel correct. But hello, bonjour, hi, and welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. Gay, I am currently just drinking on some water. That's all.
Period. And hello, everyone. I am Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. And in honor of our guest, I wanted to celebrate. And I popped the bottles today. I popped my bottles today.
Ooh.
Just some apple grape juice, sparkling apple grape juice.
Right.
Because, but I wanted to pop my bottles for our guest because I'm so excited to talk to her. But something else important I do have is my cup mug. Period. Ooh.
Mine has an avocado pen in it, so
it's fine. I just took my pen out, but you can barely see it. But it's a panel full of cup mugs. And you can get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Canada, I'm looking at you, but I know it'll be delayed because of the postal strike. But it's okay. You'll still get it. Get it.
Period. And we are here talking with the gorgeous, the stunning Jaylene Tyme.
So excited to talk to her.
So excited. We're going to dive right into that interview. But before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag, DragRace exit interviews, and so much more. And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access. So without further ado, Jaylene Tyme. It's time for Jaylene Tyme.
Period.
Well, we talk about a lot of Drag Race queens being mother, but I think today we are here with the mother herself. The icon, Miss Jaylene Tyme.
Oh, I'm so excited. Hello, Miss Tyme. Look, I just want to be like, Miss Tyme, hello. I feel, you are everything. I have to say, and I'm going to start off by just saying, watching you this season has been the most happiest and joyous I've been watching Drag Race. I love you. That's it. I'm not gonna gush too much, but I love you. You are so amazing to watch.
Well, I love a good gusher, so I do want to say that we love you. Like, we talk with the cast together, and this is our favorite podcast. We love the fact that you just bring so much kindness and so much love. And it's really great to be part of. So I was really looking forward to this discussion today. So the feeling is mutual.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Ugh.
I'm gonna try not to cry because it's oof. All of you are just getting us emotional every time we talk to y'all. I swear. Yeah. Jaylene, how are you doing after your elimination episode? And being able to watch it with a couple of your sisters as well last night.
Well, that's true. Actually, at first I wasn't sure where I was going to watch it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be at home, but the universe sometimes has different plans. So Helena mentioned me. She says that she was going to be in town. And so we're like, okay, well, let's plan a party here. And so myself, her, and Tiffany, we spent it together last night, and we had a really great time. And I said something there. It was like, when things get tough, you don't run away. You just lean into it. And so that was just an example with that. Yeah, it didn't feel too great. Kind of, you don't know what it's going to look like. It's, this whole thing of being together in this experience. We all have a time to go, and this happened to be mine. But I did just feel I shared so much about being your authentic self and being really proud of that. And, now's the time to really display what that truly means. So I feel really good. I feel like it's just getting started. That's the realty there. It's like we did the filming. It's now the airing. And we're all doing our own little glow ups. I'm working with dancers. I'm doing some things with also speaking in different groups and being invited to these different discussions. It's now where we just get this started, and we're meeting the Drag Race family like globally, and they're just so gracious and kind. And so many people have been reaching out to me, like young people, young Indigenous people, trans people, and they're just saying that they're so grateful that I'm on this season, and I'm really taking ownership of that.
Yeah. Oh, so great to watch. I want to know, how did you feel getting to compete with other trans women of color, having Michaela and Sanjina there with you? Because it was such an amazing moment for us to watch the three of you come together and bond and have those things that connected you, but also made your bond stronger together. So how did that feel? And because watching it was amazing.
Well, I feel sometimes this feeling of real bliss in my being, because when I walked in the room and I saw there was 3 trans women of color there, I was like, we're making a shift. And when I experienced how production was really taking care of our stories,
Yes,
I felt I'm safe here, you know? And then when I was able to have discussions, and she had an ugly cry last night when I was talking with Michaela, because we've had talks where I'm like, was 21, I was 52. And the life expectancy of a trans woman of color, unfortunately, is over the age of 30.
right.
And when I see somebody sitting, like, for example, Sanjina and Michaela, with that confidence, which they're popping, they're doing their thing and they're showing up, I'm like, I feel something in me, because I have been around a couple days and I've had some real adversity that I've had to live through, a lot of discrimination and a lot of challenge. And so the fact that I'm able to be here and experience it with these young people that are being supported, and they're just in their strength, it overwhelms me to see that. And I wanted to share with them that every challenge that I've had, and the many lives of trans women that came before us that never got that opportunity, I know how important it is, and it makes everything worthwhile to see Michaela and Sanjina shine the way they were.
Oh, I love that, because I honestly would say I'm a 46-year-old woman, so I know I've been here for a little bit, and it's been so nice because I have learned from the younger generation, because a lot of stuff that I've stifled in my life for myself, because I shouldn't do this. I'm not supposed to say that. I'm not supposed to. And seeing these young people with all this confidence, like, why can't you do this? Why shouldn't you do this? You can just do it. Has taught me to be like, yeah, I can still. I can just do it. So I love that you feel you're still open to learning from the younger generation, as well as giving them your wisdom and knowledge of what you've been through in life, and we can bridge the gap and help each other out. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Ugh, I just love it.
And
I love it.
and on the flip side of that, being, you know, a younger person, I have really appreciated learning a lot about indigeneity from you and from all of your Indigenous sisters that have been on Canada's Drag Race. That's one of the things that I've loved about Canada's Drag Race the most, is just that there is always and always has been this promotion of, we're going to make sure that every part of Canada is represented. And I absolutely love it. One of the things that I didn't know anything about was about the 60s scoop, and hearing you talk about it on the show, it enlightened me. So first and foremost, thank you for sharing every part of your journey that you did on the show. I want to know how has, you know, experiencing the 60s scoop and seeing the effect of it on generations to come, how has that impacted you and your drag journey and things like that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I just want to start off by saying that for the first, like, we've had the most viewed video on Canada's Drag Race history, 6 million views, with myself and Xana and Virgo, our exchange there. And so part of me, I say that because I recognize that 6 million people are learning about the 60s scoop. And so this is what Truth and Reconciliation is about. It's about when you feel like you have the capacity and have the agency to be able to share your stories at that real core heart level, you benefit yourself in being able to be on that healing journey, but you also provide an opportunity for other people to learn, and those who have experienced that disconnect where they don't feel part of, or they don't feel like they have the right to take ownership of their culture for many different reasons. Being displaced is a colonial stamp.
Mm-hmm.
You start to believe that you don't have those rights. And so when you find each other, when you share the stories about what our accurate history is, and then you hold people accountable towards creating paths of accessibility towards, well, our personal ancestral history, it is a worldwide
Absolutely.
thing. Everybody across the world can understand what that feels like. And so for me coming into Drag Race, and I knew that I needed to, it was like a dream come true. And being like an older queen, I just was like, I just got to share. I'm a survivor, and I want to be able to share that story, but also realize that I also need to recognize the missing, murdered Indigenous women, girls, and two spirits. I need to recognize the 60s scoop, the residential schools, the people, the two-spirit people, the Métis people, the people who are white passing that don't feel like they can take ownership of their culture. All these things were so important to talk about. And I just feel just great pride of being on Drag Race in general, but just knowing that when I went in there, you saw and you got to meet Jaylene Tyme. You saw me at my best, and you saw me in vulnerable states, which I truly believe is also my best.
It was.
You know?
It was.
And also make it very clear, I didn't know I was going to look like that on TV. I look good.
You look fabulous, mama.
That is
the race has just begun.
Absolutely.
Period.
And seeing you in your entrance look as well, acknowledging missing and murdered Indigenous women and women, children, and two-spirit individuals was absolutely incredible. I was so happy when you got that first rosebud for your entrance look, and I appreciate that the judges acknowledged that as well. And then having your moment with Xana and passing your sash to Xana was just words can't describe really just how powerful that is. And as someone that does not understand this culture, but wants to learn and wants to understand what I can do to be better, it just, all of those moments compounding just mean so much to me, to so many other people. Like you said, 6 million people are now learning more about what it means to be Indigenous in Canada, and like you said, more importantly, what it means to be Indigenous in the world. And having those experiences, I just want to say thank you for sharing those so openly, because it's a gorgeous thing to see.
Yeah, it's wild. It's like, it's one of these things too. Is like, I've been a fan of Drag Race since season 1, since like the filters on the
the Vaseline filter. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Since that day, and the fact that now that I get to be part of this, and now we have people in the Drag Race family all over the world reaching out, and we're connecting, and that to me is like, that's a dream. But also the fact that, I unapologetically can just show up and share what I need to share. I mean, I'll share like, sickening looks and do all that and share the art form of drag. But Brooklyn said every week we need the magic of drag more than ever.
Absolutely.
And so I knew that being there, I needed to share about, like, from my heart, what's really important to me. And that is to create brave spaces. Our cast is magic. Like, all those people, when you see them on there and you fall in love with them, that's exactly who they are. And, I truly am like, it's not a coincidence that we all came together to be part of that. And, you know, to see, I actually did really well when I was on there, better than I had thought I would initially. I thought just walking in the workroom was a big deal. I didn't have much expectations past that. I just knew I was going to do my best and I wasn't going to give up. And that was important for me as a human. And so I went in there, did that, and, you know, was in the top a couple times, a design challenge. I mean, come on, you know, the Turtle Island
Which
dress.
you ate, by the way. That design challenge was, I would say, for me personally, the best. I was like, Jaylene should have won. You were my winner pick that week. I was like, Jaylene should have won because the first look, spectacular, and then what you created, I would wear that right now. Like, give it to me, I'll wear it right now. It's so good, so good.
Thank you so much.
But I need to get back into it because I'm going off script again. That's my problem. I tend to go off script a lot.
You know what's funny? I'm going to say this right now because when I went in there, I said, I talk a lot. So I'm going to give you a lot of content. So
period.
Give me a good editor and we're good.
I got you.
We got you.
I got you.
So you said you were reunited with your birth family a few years ago, which I appreciate you talking about this. And also, by the way, my sister was one of those 6 million people who wasn't watching Canada's Drag Race, who saw that clip and was like, I need to watch this show. Mm-hmm. So I love that for you. And I love that for her that she now gets to experience it. But I want to know how that the reunion came about. If you want to talk about how you came back to your birth family and was able to just now be able to grow and know more about who you are.
Yes. Well, my healing journey has been many years. Like I mentioned, I'm 26 years sober from alcohol and drugs. And, you know, yes. I actually had a lot of... Thank you. I had a lot of challenge when I was younger and, you know, part of the street community. And, you know, I was actually down at a time to where, you know, I could have been one of those missing women, you know, and, but I'm here. Yeah. And so I recognize that. And so through my healing journey, it's taken a long time, but I had to go through a class action to be able to have access towards my adoption records that were sealed to me as an... So it took a long time. So I had to go through legal proceedings to be able to have that because there was a 60 scoop call out to where they were calling out to people and you had to do this application form and then they'd have to open up your history, the packet of your adoption to be able to you were only eligible if you were considered a status Indian at the time as well. And so I had to go through that. So at 50 years old, I got my status card and I had the confirmation of my ancestral territory, which I'm registered with now in Saskatchewan. And also my mother and father, both of them are, sorry, my dog's snoring. I don't know if you can hear it, but
I love it.
So it's been since I was 50, I'm 53 now. And so it's been this 3 years that I went to a powwow at my reserve, and I was nervous as a trans person going anywhere. Sometimes I'm nervous. Right. So I went there and I saw a pride flag in the grand entry. I was like, oh my goodness, okay. So
safe space.
And then I met the chief, who's a woman who happens to be my father's cousin. So my cousin. So it started there and I was just like, I had my feet on my land and I never felt anything so powerful because I've always felt like a bird flying with nowhere to land. And I really felt like I had landed. And that to me was the recognition that the blood that flows through me is my family that is that land. And so it's been that. And now I changed my career from being a makeup artist and a teacher of that to shifting towards working in a two-spirit research and being part of community that helps people take ownership of who they are and hold people accountable to creating resources and accessibility for people. And so that's sort of where I'm at. And when you stand in your truth, when you take ownership and you keep asking the questions, you don't stop. I started to have some of those questions answered and I just keep moving. And when I allow the power of spirit to be my guiding force, things fall into place. When I put that quarter in the machine for Drag Race, the 5th time, I've applied every year, and I put it in there, and then it comes back to me, your time is now.
Yeah.
I know that that is something special. And so the fact that I get in there and then I have Xana and Virgo, and we have that together, that discussion, that is spirit. That's nothing you can script. Period. It is something that is the timing was right. And I want to say to everybody who's watching this, show up every day and realize the only limit to what you can achieve in this world is your imagination. Hold people accountable. We all deserve the right to live our life with dignity, respect, and to achieve our potential that we choose, that nobody else chooses for us.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Oh, it's so refreshing talking to you. I can't stop smiling. I love it. Okay. I want to.
And I had an ugly cry, and Michaela called me a star, and it hit my heart because I just realized I was a star.
You are.
And it was just like she was saying that, and I was like this, and I felt it. It was there's all the feels.
All the feels, baby.
And if no one's and I know you are a mother and you look out for other people, but Jaylene, if no one's told you recently, you are seen, you are heard, and we appreciate you.
Absolutely. You are a star completely. Now I do want to ask one thing about the show. Because you got eliminated right before Snatch Game. How disappointed were you that you got eliminated right before Snatch Game? And what characters were you planning on doing?
Well, it's funny you should say that because we filmed a while ago, so I've had some time to think about it, right? So when it came up there, it's like myself as a character, performer, artist, it is something that, I do all the divas, right? That's sort of what I do. And a lot of people didn't see that, but I look at it now, it's like, well, you have an opportunity to see more, and I was going to be bringing, what I brought there to Drag Race, I brought Mae West, which would have been amazing. But I also brought, because sometimes you got to think about it. I brought, and a lot of people don't know who this is, but this is who I am. And I brought Buffy St. Marie as well. So if you take a look at her history, you'll understand why I brought that, because it is actually part of our storytelling. And it is something that is like a lot of Indigenous people that know exactly that story. But those are the two that I brought. But I had some people were thinking I either was going to do Dolly or Cher or something like that. But for myself, I was thinking, you got to be funny with these things too. And I was like, Mae West, I actually probably look like her right now. Hello. You know what I mean?
There's a little bit of Mae West there. I love it. But
so,
Jaylene, yes. I want to end off with some super quick rapid fire questions for you that we're asking all of the queens on Canada's Drag Race this season. So Jaylene Tyme, it is time for you to go off. So, I want to know your best tea. Who are you closest to out of your season sisters?
Who am I closest to? Oh my goodness, there's so many of them, but I do have to say, the person I talk to the most is Tiffany.
Our angel. I love her.
Like when we got back, the first little while, 5-hour phone calls. Literally, we would do our housework and just be on the phone.
Love that.
Yeah,
I've been talking to her nonstop since we interviewed her. I've been talking to her nonstop too. So
Me too.
Yeah.
I love her. We want to know your full cup, Jaylene. Other than your own looks, which were all great, who had some of your favorite looks from the season?
That's a really great question. I do have to say that I loved In Our Time and Place when we had that real cultural presence there. So Michaela's and Virgo's. For me and mine, all three together, it was just like, that was power.
That was power.
Absolutely. It's tea time with Jaylene. Who did you want to spend more time getting to know during filming that you didn't get to?
I think I would have to say and there's never really just one. I think more Michaela and Sanjina, because we are like, we need each other. Yes. And I tell you, I get a wave of emotion thinking about it right now. But those two, I love, like, I love everybody. But as a trans woman, I feel like I'm like Mama Bear with them.
Mm-hmm.
Popularity. Give me 3 of your favorite Drag Race queens from around the world, Jaylene.
Okay. Raja, Chad Michaels, and let's say Nina West.
Oh, great choices. Great choices. Love all of them. Since you are now part of our Cup family, Jaylene, we want you to shout out one person that has influenced your drag journey and how they've helped you.
Oh, in like from where? Just anywhere?
Just anywhere in your drag career. It could be from Drag Race. It could be just from doing drag. Someone that you want to shout out that has supported and helped you.
Yes, you'll love this, and I hope you do some research after this. But she is Empress Nicole the Great. She is the Queen Mother of the Americas.
Wonderful.
And I sit on that board as the international board, but she is like an example for me. She's a leader, a fierce leader of our queer history, but also I relate because she was one of the girls from the street community that knows what it's like to be at your lowest, but also knows the power of it means to create a space where everyone is seen.
Love that.
And my drag is that it's glamour, it's fashion, but it's attached to community because of people like her. And I've got so many other people I could shout out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. And then we want to know your queen of positivity, Jaylene. Who of your season sisters would you say is the most positive and uplifting person for you and your Drag Race journey?
Oh, that's an easy one. It would be Helena Poison.
I love.
Oh, love that.
I love. Jaylene, you are a legend. I am so happy that you are on this season just so that we know who you are and get to experience you and your beauty. And thank you, A, for sharing yourself, and B, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And a couple words back to you. When people, when drag fans come in and want to include us and they want to celebrate the art of drag and the power of community, we feel it. And it gives us energy. So by you showing up and really celebrating what we're doing that we've put our heart into, you're really respecting us, and we feel it. And I want to say it right back at you. We love you so much, and I will always be a stan, and we'll watch all that you do. And I've been watching everything, so we're watching.
Thank you.
That makes
Thank you, darling.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. You're a mother, and we love you so much.
Until we meet again.
Until we meet again, my love.
Just getting started.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.